and welcome to the Assorted Crackers podcast. We created this for men who find themselves past the half-century mark to offer fresh takes on the passions, pastimes, and distractions that we use to recharge our batteries and restore our souls. I'm Eric, and I'm here with co-hosts Lee and Wilson, and we're here to serve up snackable topics like college football, hunting, grilling, and other assorted small bites. And I can tell you that our mutual appreciation for Kentucky brown water will make frequent appearances. So if we do it right, you'll leave informed, entertained, and hungry for more. Guys, let's do it.
What are you pouring up there, Lee?
I think today we're having a big ode to Blue Note bourbon. Today we're going to start off with the Blue Note Rye. It's a 93 proof, unfiltered small batch rye. It is there on the mainstay. You can find it any liquor store around. It's one of their entry market profiles and priced just right.
Love a good local bourbon and love Blue Note. Can't wait to try this one. I've not had their rye.
I have not either.
As you pour it up so gently. So what should we expect? I assume you've had this, Lee.
I have this. The mash bill on this is a 95.5 rye. So it's 95% rye. It is 5% malted barley. And I think that you'll find this very approachable. It's probably a rye that is maybe a gateway to where you want to be. And it's pretty good. I really have enjoyed it. I'm not typically a rye fan. I don't like that red hot cinnamon flavor when it hits you right at the front of your palate, and I'm not sure you'll find that on this one. So I look forward to hearing you guys and your take.
All right, but
it's got a nice nose to it.
I was going to say it help us understand the difference between traditional bourbon and a rye, because I know a lot of people might feel like they can't distinguish, but to your point, it's a little more peppery. What is the difference in terms of how they make a rye?
Well, a rye is everything's made in a very similar fashion, but this is a whiskey, not a bourbon. And so, not all whiskeys are bourbons, but all bourbons are whiskey. So, the simple fact that you can have that is how they're separate. So, for it to be bourbon, it has to be 51% corn.
Corn, right?
It has to be finished in a brand new charred white oak barrel. And then it can have the mash bill of rye and or wheat with malted barley or barley. And so that's how you tell the difference. So if it's not 51% corn and it has rye, it can be any percentage of rye in there or anything less than 50%. It would still be a whiskey if it is 52% rye, and then it had some corn of 40%, and then it had barley.
Right.
So this one with a 95.5 rye, I think you'll find it very approachable. It's kind of a traditional rye that maybe even the rye that you would find a lot out of Indiana. That was one of their famous, how they kind of stepped into it. So what do you think?
Well, I think it's very good. I think it coats your mouth really nicely. It's not too hot. And looking at the Glencairn here, it's got nice legs on it too. It's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of like you, that my first preference isn't rye if I've got an option, but it's actually for a rye, it's really smooth. I was expecting it to be a little bit more of that upfront peppery burn, and that was not my experience.
Right.
This is a good taste.
I think if it hits it on the back is where you kind of get that hotter, which is where I prefer it.
You don't want it up front, do you?
I don't. I think it has a nice spearmint kind of flavor. I get a good minty flavor on the front, and then and it kind of it stays with you. They proofed it down to 93 proof, and so that's one of the things I think Blue Note prides itself on is using the Memphis water when they cut it, because we do have some fantastic water here in Memphis, and it's something that we should hang our hat on.
High quality H2O.
That's right. Blue Note believes that they have a unique advantage, I think, in the community of bourbon, and it starts with the fact that the water. If they do cut it, then also they believe that they get extra 2 months worth of aging in the barrels.
Say more about that.
Because of our heat and humidity versus where it is in Kentucky. So all of their bourbon and whiskey comes from Kentucky. It is distilled and aged for a year and a day in Kentucky. Therefore, it is Kentucky bourbon. But now it gets moved and brought to Memphis and stays in the warehouses here in Memphis. So we'll taste through the rest. They've got this is the next one we'll have will be a Crossroads. We've got a couple of special, unique blue notes that follow that too.
And we'll just keep going until Wilson starts slurring. Is that the idea?
These are small tastes. These are small tastes. Yeah. We're going to be in good shape.
So speaking of tastes, Wilson was kind enough to bring us some of his famous duck sliders, I guess. They're not poppers.
They're not poppers.
And they're delicious. Like we had a chance to have a little snack before we came on here. And honestly, I'm a big fan of duck, but it's got to be cooked right. If it's wild duck especially. And this is nice, Wilson. Talk about how you made it and where it came from.
These are ducks that I harvested last year. And so what I did, I marinated them. I kind of divided it up in 2 batches. So I divided half of them in Hoover sauce, which is a kind of a teriyaki barbecue marinade sauce or whatever you want to call it out of Mississippi. And then the other half, I've marinated them in Wickers barbecue sauce, which is vinegar based, which helps kind of tenderize the meat a little bit. And so I marinated them overnight. And then I wrapped them in bacon, cooked them on the smoker, and then, put them on Hawaiian rolls with some pepper jack cheese and slaw. But I seasoned them with, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and just cooked them till the bacon was done.
So how long did you say you marinated?
Overnight.
Overnight, okay.
So I know one of the biggest mistakes people make when they try to cook duck breast is they overcook it. And most people who say, I don't like duck, it's not tender, it's too gamey, I can guarantee you they probably had duck that was overcooked. What's the sort of degree or the serving temperature that you think is ideal?
Well, I like them medium. Mm-hmm. And but if you wrap them in bacon, you don't want the bacon to be too thick because then they overcook because the bacon doesn't get all the way done. So you want to use thin wrapped bacon. And a lot of times to get the gamey taste out, and I did this before I cooked these, before I froze them, but you can marinate them in whole milk. And it pulls a lot of the blood, all that excess blood out of the meat. And so it takes a lot of that gamey flavor out of the meat.
Do you salt that milk?
I do not. But, I don't see why you couldn't. I just never have.
I'm just trying to think of how you
pull
more out of it.
But I'll marinate it in milk overnight too.
Okay.
And so you're thinking about like a milk brine almost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes a ton of sense.
I guess you could do buttermilk like you would fried chicken.
I've heard of buttermilk. That's exactly what
I think that I may have to try that. Thank you, Lee.
I will say I've done deer meat that way. So you take buttermilk and I put hot sauce, Tabasco or Crystal, in there and let it set overnight, and it not only put some flavor into it, but
ode to your Louisiana roots.
I do like the hot sauce.
Man.
See how much we learn from each other.
That's right. Well, this is delicious, and we're gonna have to take frequent breaks so I can eat
and there is
chewing
some
on the ear.
So I did have some duck ground up and put into smoked as Polish sausage. Excuse me.
Wait, these are Polish ducks?
Well, they were stupid enough to get shot, so there you go.
Nice.
Bad joke. Sorry. But anyway, it's good stuff.
I hear they don't have to be very far away. They can be pretty far away, and you can still shoot them.
The Polish ducks or just any duck?
No, Wilson and his ducks. Just because he's such a great shot, I heard. Since he wants to be an Olympian.
That's true. Good callback. And have you been practicing, by the way, at the skeet range at the trap
I have
range?
not yet.
Okay, we need to.
It's been hot. I need to go out there. It's time to get ready for hunting season too. By the way.
Fair, and we'll talk about that. I think that's a good topic. But yeah, no, I will say, Lee, I've hunted with Wilson a time or two. He for such a mild mannered, easygoing guy, he hates ducks. If a duck comes in and it gets out, he gets red faced.
Wow.
I'm here to tell you. So yes, he's serious about it.
He's a killer.
He is a killer.
It's it's just one of the few passions that I get really excited about and I just love being out there.
Yeah. Well, and in fairness, and I do appreciate, I think too many people hunt to kill, And really, that's not what it's about. It's not. It's about having a good time, enjoying the sunrise, and then eating what you bring home. That's the thing that can drive me crazy is people who just kill ducks, kill deer, and then just give the meat away.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be a game hog, but being with my kids hunting, I mean, watching them get excited, and I mean, I've killed enough ducks to where, I want to, don't get me wrong, I want to get them, but to watch the kids get excited about it, and with guests that have never been on a flooded timber Arkansas duck hunt is something to behold. There's nothing like it. I'm just telling you, there's nothing like it.
No, well, and again, when you can enjoy it from the first time you see the duck come in to now bring it to the table and sharing it with friends, that's the full cycle. That's really good.
I really love the fact that you're talking about sharing it, that time and the memories with your kids. I mean, that's special. I mean, it's a little bit about what we're doing here, guys. We're making memories. We're drinking bourbon. We're having fun. We're making memories, and that's exactly what we do. I think that's what this podcast is about, and I think that's so I love that.
I would say I completely agree. And while our kids aren't here, instead of sharing this with our kids, I think this is more about embarrassing our kids. But whatever it takes, guys.
It's a detail. It's a detail.
All right. So Lee is opening us. You may have heard the cork pop. What's next?
So this is Blue Note Crossroads. This is also on the shelf. It's very affordable. It's one that you can find in most liquor stores. So this is a straight bourbon whiskey that is finished in toasted French oak staves. So it's several different. It's a small batch. They proof it down to 100. So it's a little bit higher proof. But I think you'll find that this little rendition is pretty, unique and different, extremely different than what you're finding in the rye. You're getting into a bourbon, and one of the things that you need to also know about Blue Note, and shout out to Blue Note, a non-paid sponsor, but we would love to have you, has also received a gold in the San Francisco spirits tasting. They received it 3 years in a row, and once you receive it 3 years in a row, you end up getting to be platinum. There were 5 platinum awards given out this year.
That's pretty impressive.
This past year, and so when they gave out 5 awards, Blue Note received 2 of the 5. The Blue Note Crossroads, and then the Blue Note Juke Joint.
I've had both. Well, you said something earlier. I want to, again, in the spirit of educating, small batch. That's a word that gets thrown around a lot, but what does it really mean when they're serving up a small batch?
So it's different. Small batches are different barrels that are put together. Some of them can't stand up by themselves, and yet they can add depth to the different bottles that you put together. So you want to have multiple different things. So the different barrels that are bringing up. So some of it could be different ages. Some of it could be stored in different places in the warehouse. It just depends on what you're thinking when you're putting together the taste profile.
So it's a blend, but it's a very specific blend relative to how they're putting Crossroads in this case together.
That's correct. It's a blend of specific mash bills from specific places to get a consistent flavor that would actually stand up to whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So what's a very small batch?
A very small batch could be 2 barrels.
Okay,
so that's 2 to 3 barrels.
That's even more of a specific.
That's correct. So if you
profile.
see very small batch, you're going to think that. And for it to be like a straight bourbon or a straight rye, it has to be aged for greater than 2 years.
Right.
But a lot of times you'll find different blend, different small batches that are out there. And I say it's blending, but it's not. But you're blending the same stuff, so you're not really like changing. It's still bourbon. And so, so you may have, some of these small batches may have hundreds of barrels that put together. So that's the difference between small, very small, and regular bourbon.
So you mentioned age, and some bourbons will tell you exactly how long that on the label, how long they've aged, and others not. But is it true that typically the longer it ages, the more it proofs down? Is that accurate, or did I get that backwards?
I don't think that I don't think that comes into play.
It's not a factor.
I think that it comes in entry barrel proof is what proof is it entered into the barrel is one thing. The other thing would be where it's placed in the rick house. So if it's in a rick house that's on the top floor, where it gets hotter and is more dry and you get more evaporation, you're going to probably have something that goes up in proof. If it's something that's on the bottom floor, then you're probably going to have cooler temperatures, and so you're going to find that proof goes down. So what they do is they uniquely blend those together sometimes when they're making the small batches, or if they're going to do single barrels, it just depends. But also the thing you need to know is when you state an age on a barrel, on a bottle, what you're stating is that is the youngest. So you may have a 4-year-old bourbon, but you really might have a small batch that has some 10 and 11, so they can't overstate the age. That's why a lot of distilleries have moved away from having age statements. So it's less distilleries use age statements today, so that way they can use multiple different years, therefore create the same profile that they want and have a good bourbon.
That's super helpful. So there's not a correlation between age and proofing necessarily.
Correct.
But what is the advantage of some of these 8, 10, 12-year bourbons?
I mean, it certainly, if you state an age, you probably can charge more for it because you've held that inventory for a lot longer of a period of time. So it's cost you a lot more. Your cost of goods is way higher than it was when you have a younger bourbon. And so when you're batching it with a 2-year-old bourbon, then you also don't have to put the age statement in there either. So.
Yeah, but typically the flavor profile is much more profound as you get into the older stuff, right?
Absolutely. Once it has time to mature in the barrel, take on the characteristics of the barrel and the wood that's in the barrel, then you find that you'll see that the older it gets, the more viscosity it gets, the more complicated it is, maybe the deeper the smell, the aromas that come off the bourbon, the depth of color. Of course, the char matters on what your color is too. So.
Good. I appreciate the sidebar. Again, it's good discussion because
fountain of knowledge.
Well, he is, right, and the shelves are just full of hundreds.
It's overwhelming.
It really is overwhelming. So understanding some of these nuances helps make good choices. And when I say good choices, you can spend way more than you need to.
Yes, no doubt.
Have you done that?
I might have made a mistake once or twice.
Me too.
Same.
But I've learned, and most of us will. But I would say to people who are new to bourbon drinking or tasting, there's no reason for you to go looking for a unicorn bourbon. Don't go out and look for your Pappy 15s. Don't start overpaying for things. Spend time getting to know those that are under $50 first. Find a profile that you like.
Because there's some really good bourbons that are under $50.
Fantastic bourbons. Most of these are here at the table here. I mean, that we have. It's great. So I would say that if you're really looking at it for the novice, some of the most important factors you want to think about when you're looking for a bourbon, in my opinion, is find something that you've read about, you've heard about. There are so many. I mean, if you want to start with Blue Note, I think you're going to find that it is a fantastic bourbon. It's under. I think that if you regular juke joint at 93 proof, you're going to be at $30. You're going to be, the rye is right at that point, or price point. The Crossroads is $40 something. Yeah. I mean, pause for 1 second. What do you think about the Crossroads?
I think it's excellent.
I promise I was going to get back. I agree. And again, I'm glad we started with the rye because it made this even more smooth on the palate.
Right.
But it's much more.
But it's 100 proof, right?
It's 100 proof. But the finishing and the French oak stays, it really mellows it out and kind of makes it not quite bite. But it also gives you, I think of French vanilla bean ice cream.
Nice.
I mean,
you know what? It pairs well with duck sliders too.
I think most bourbon does.
That is true.
So anyway, I think you also may get a little tobacco, a little earthy out of this one too. So second thing I would say that would be a priority when you're looking for bourbons is, I think, hey, ask around, what are some introductory bourbons? And then taste something that is very different. Make sure you look at different distilleries. and read about it. Find out the mash bill so you can know if it's a high rye and you tasted it and you didn't like it, then just avoid a high rye next time until you develop your own palate and where you're going. I think that's important. Third is, don't get overwhelmed and think that you have to go and just go on a hunt. Take your time, enjoy all of these bourbons until you get to do that. And I think if you can, taste it before you buy it. So try it at a bar, try it at a friend's house, and if you really like something, then spend the money.
Well, and also some of the liquor stores will let you sample. I mean, they have their tasting, open bottles that you may be able to taste, or some of the other ones may do a tasting in an afternoon to try something new. And I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's an excellent way to do it.
Agree. Wilson and I went to a tasting just yesterday with some Bardstown's newest release, Bardstown Distillery, and it was a great time. So they had their wheated, they had their rye. What was their third?
Just their normal
standard
mass.
Yeah.
Because this is their juice.
Yeah.
So they were blending when they were getting started, and blending with all different kinds of barrels.
Right.
I mean,
they were
very good.
Tennessee, Indiana, Kentucky. They were buying barrels, aging them and blending them, and I think that's to Bardstown's credit. I think that they really have done some nice finishings. They've done a lot of great stuff, and I'm really excited that they have their own juice now. And they actually,
and they did it right because they aged it, and it's 6 to 8 years old, I think, and so they were doing all this blending and till they could
keep the lights on with some good stuff. What they blended was good, but this was definitely, you can tell they've stepped it up.
They are also mass producing. People like Blue Note. Blue Note does not distill its own bourbon, but they get that from Kentucky, from a distiller who makes it for them at their specific recipe, and then they transfer it to Memphis. Same thing, many, 95% of the bourbon that is produced in the country is produced in Kentucky by approximately 5 or 6 different distilleries.
Right. Well, but to your point about being able to sample and try, I mean, it was fun because there were a couple other guys in there trying things, and we were kind of talking amongst ourselves, what do you like? And needless to say, I walked home with a bottle, as did Wilson. But again, you don't have to love everything. You just have to try and find out what works for you. What do you like?
Absolutely.
You left out the fourth criteria, which is the coolness of the bottle. Isn't that a factor?
Why, it can be, if that's how you choose. That's a cool
bottle. I'm obviously joking, but it is. You can tell people are getting super creative with their bottles, trying to, again, use marketing to appeal to the mass consumer and get them to just pick it up off the shelf and try it at least once. There's some amazing bottles out there.
Well, I mean, then that's a whole other discussion in podcast. Are they distilleries or are they marketing companies?
Yes. The answer is yes.
We'll pause that for another day, but I definitely think you don't judge a book by its cover.
What was that?
Oh my gosh. What do we have here? Well, we have the same rye bourbon that we had earlier in the Blue Note. However, this one is at cask strength. Okay. So this one at cask strength was also taken and finished in a honey barrel. So they took it out of the barrel, added honey, coated it, rolled it around, let it be there for...
Wait, added honey to the barrel, to the juice?
To the barrel.
Yeah, okay.
To the barrel. And once they added the honey to the barrel, they let that sit and cure and rolled it around and made sure it hit all the points of the barrel. And then after that, they took the honey out and then added the bourbon back to the barrel.
These finishing techniques are getting out of hand, but it's paying off.
It's paying off.
It really is.
I think that you're going to find this is a real treat. So
what's the difference between cask strength and barrel strength?
Well, it depends. So it could be cask strength. That means that it is uncut, unfiltered. Okay. So that means it's boom. It's right there at the top, whatever it comes out of the barrel at. Then you have just, what did you say, foolproof?
Or barrel proof, barrel strength, whatever.
So it could be that they proof it down. So pick a wild turkey rare breed. They proof it down to 116 proof, and that's where they stop. Some people do that. So it could be, Weller foolproof is pulled down to a certain level. So they do cut it with some water. It's not at cask strength.
That's what proofing it down means. That's literally correct. Just diluting it a little bit.
Add water.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's a key. So you'll find that this is, I mean, what do you think? I've already given you a little bit.
I have not sipped it yet. I was waiting for Wilson to get his.
Hit the nose on that and tell me what you think.
Can you smell honey?
I don't smell honey, but it definitely has some sweeter notes, like vanilla,
Yeah.
butterscotch, maybe either vanilla or butterscotch. I
like that. So remember that spearmint that I talked about earlier? So you get that? Wow, what kind of face was that?
No, that was a happy face. That was a happy face.
Wow.
Super different, which I like that. I like trying, like to your point about trying new things. Really different.
You get the honey.
Mm-hmm. You do, and it's on the back half.
So I really get that wintergreen spearmint type on this, along with the sweetness of the honey.
Well done, Blue Note. This is what I'm going to look for.
Well, this is a limited edition. There were eight barrels of the bourbon, and there were maybe 10 barrels of the rye. The honey rye. So you'll notice on the bottle, as you were talking about unique marketing, there's a honeycomb on the outside to the label. So it's kind of neat.
Now, did I read that this is going to be a yearly release, like a once a year kind of thing, or is that undetermined yet, or am I making crap up?
I don't know that it's a yearly. They've done it before.
Okay.
But I don't know that they're doing it. They're working on stuff regularly. Just so you know, as we're touching that, if you hear something rooting around in the background, it's not our stomachs after the duck and the bourbon. It's the rabbits.
That's really good.
You like that?
I do.
I mean,
and you know what that would be good in?
What?
A Gold Rush.
Tell me about a Gold Rush.
It's a bourbon cocktail that has honey syrup in it. Instead of, just regular simple syrup. I'm not sure what else is in it, but I've had a Gold Rush and it had honey syrup. But if you had a little extra flavor.
What did
they just keep popping.
Well, I mean,
again, these are all Blue Notes.
This is all Blue Note. This is an ode to Blue Note. We, in the essence of time, and not making this a 7-hour, edition. And these are, for the public out there, these are tiny pours.
Yeah,
we're making
good disclaimer. Very
fingernail
important.
pour here.
Okay, so Bill, our marvelous producer,
has found the recipe.
So for a Gold Rush, it is 2 ounces of bourbon, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, freshly squeezed, 3/4 of an ounce of honey syrup, and you garnish with a lemon twist.
Don't forget the lemon twist.
So what are we pouring up now? Fingernail pour, as you say.
That's right. So this one is the Blue Note honey bourbon cask. So this one is the same thing that we just had in rye, but now it's the bourbon. So it's the Blue Note uncut.
All right. I'm getting
proof is 115 on this one.
I'm getting a stronger honey smell this time.
Yep.
I don't know if that.
I think that rye had maybe cut it a little bit. I don't know, but I'm with you. I'm with you. This is right on the front.
Oh. All right, here's your Gold Rush alcohol right here.
This is nice.
You just pivoted from the rye to
Sorry, I just smelled the microphone. That's weird.
Is it? These are fingernail pours. I do get a lot more honey on the nose on this one.
Pure butterscotch. Like that is pure butterscotch to me on the front.
I like that.
Yeah, it's.
This is good.
Dang.
This is good. So same price point as the rye, honey?
Same price point as rye.
You've had both of these before, or is this your first time?
Well, these bottles might have been opened before we got here.
Fair enough. I mean, you can't serve up something you haven't tried.
These are so unique that you may not get more than one bottle of each. Yeah. Because if you only have 8 barrels, maybe 180 bottles to a barrel to 200 bottles. So if it was 200, then that would be 1,600 bottles total.
Good math, good bourbon.
That's very good.
Really good. And so you. One of the things I appreciate, Lee, you're always intentional about the sequence, like what's first, second, third.
Right.
This was not an accident. You wanted to end with this, correct? That was by design.
Well, there may be one more if we got crazy, but I did do it in a specific order. I always start with low proof to high proof.
Yeah.
And you don't want to burn your palate out.
That's right.
At the beginning.
That's right. So every time you do a bourbon tasting, make sure you start low proof to high proof. And that way you can get a full enjoyment. If you start with the hottest one and you just blow your palate out, then you're really not tasting the other stuff. So, and I started with rye because I thought it was unique. And then the French oak staves and the crossroads is also a really unique opportunity too.
Yeah.
And then flip into honey. And then I think if we finish up here, we'll finish up with a straight juke joint.
Yeah.
Uncut, unfiltered. So the proof on that one probably is about 123.1. So
Okay.
So it should be in good shape.
Again, I love, you don't have to drive to Louisville. The popularity, I guess, of bourbon has opened up a whole new entry. And the fact that we've got a couple of good local distilleries, or not distilleries, but bottlers doing good work like this, it makes me want to keep going shopping, keep filling up the liquor shelf.
Absolutely. So we're going to taste the next bourbon.
The last bourbon.
Well, that's right. The last bourbon.
Best for last.
And so this one is a juke joint uncut, unfiltered. So this one is at 123 proof. This is what you would find in a single barrel. So, it may or may not, catch you off guard, but let's see.
Now, this is one I have had, and it is, again, it's good. I mean, it's got all the flavor profile. It's a lot smoother than you might think when you hear the
Blue
proof.
Note's really doing good stuff.
I
They really are.
I think so. I may know a couple of people down there, and I think that they've got a great little company, and it is, for 16 people in a small company, they do a fantastic job. They're being very creative. They're being very thoughtful in how they go to market, I'm pretty proud to say that they're from Memphis.
I agree. I feel like they're about to be 18 people. I feel like Wilson and Lee are about to go work for them.
I could work for them tomorrow.
All right, what you think about juke joint?
So you definitely pick up the vapors off the nose. It's a little more ether, I guess, on the front end.
So let's talk about that for a second on how you get rid of that. If it's too hot and you know it's going to be high on off the top, then you just may want to take the top and just blow off the very top of the glass.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, then you take a step, and you might want to slightly open your mouth when you breathe in. So that way it lets the vapor go through and it doesn't completely overwhelm you.
Drop of water, just a drop.
Just a drop. I was going to say, you
don't.
don't.
That off there too.
I'm a firm believer that is a good way to go, but I think you should always go first without.
I appreciate that.
Good point. So you can get the true.
When you add water, you're proofing it down. Yeah. So if it's really hot, you may want to just barely put a little bit right on the tip of your tongue and kind of wash it around a little bit in your mouth. And that way it kind of warms your mouth up it's like sticking your toe in the water to see how warm or how cold it is.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets you your idea of what's about to happen.
So what do we know about juke joint in terms of where it comes from, how they put it together?
So juke joint is the same as everything that they make. It's all the same mash bill.
Yeah.
Outside of the rye. And then the way they blend it. This is a single barrel, so this is one barrel. So each barrel is different, and because of where it could have been in the warehouse, it could have been where the wood from the staves of the barrel were produced. But you should be getting a pretty strong corn taste on this. Probably some oak because it's been sitting in the barrel for a little while. You should be able to see some strong legs when you swirl it around in your glass. So there's high viscosity. You're probably going to get some kind of vanilla and allspice on the finish. I think that you'll find that this one is one that has a pretty strong Kentucky hug on the backside.
Kentucky hug. Let's talk about that. This is the stuff, like, if my father were still around, this is what he would buy. It's just got that. I love the name, by the way, juke joint. It's just good, raw, southern backroads whiskey.
Well, I mean, it goes along the theme of their name and the marketing behind it.
That's really good.
It's an ode to the blues here in Memphis and then the Delta of Mississippi, and Bill Street and everything that we're known about here. One of the things that we're known about for Memphis, and so a big shout out to them.
Yeah, this has been a nice tasting. It really has.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Lee, and thank you, Blue Note. Well, guys, it's been wonderful. That's probably all that we have time for today, but I enjoyed it. So talk to us. What bourbons do you enjoy? What are you looking forward to as the fall approaches? There's a lot of things to get excited about. Hunting, fishing, football. It's right there in front of us. So tell us about it. Is there a hobby that you enjoy? Is there ways that you like to spend your time? Talk to us via email at 3assortedcrackers. That's the number 3assortedcrackers at gmail.com. And follow this show wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow us at 3assortedcrackers on Instagram. And until then, please don't let yourself get stale and don't be afraid to try new flavors.